Sorry, man. I was getting back to my online client before jumping on here.
And that got to come first. You got to get that. You got to get to the paper,
bro. Like shit. Well, I didn't know if we were doing 12:30 or 1. She's been kind of all over the place with this shit lately.
you never know with me. It depends if I got some buns last night. You know.
Exactly. I mean, no cap.
I'm gonna have to eat on the podcast, man. I knocked out before getting my last meal yesterday. I thought about getting up, and I'm like, yo, this sleep is too good right now, and my sleep been off. So I'm like, I'm gonna just get to sleep, wake up, and just get the meal in tomorrow. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, Paul does that sometimes, where he'll start the day real fucking early and get a meal in before his actual meals start. I've done that too.
There's a trade-off. I feel like the meal comes before sleep most of the time. But if you know that this week your sleep been at let's say your sleep is usually at 8, but this week your sleep been like a 5 or 6, at that point, you may need to trade. Well, I mean, you shouldn't trade. I mean, the best case scenario is to get both, right? But I'm saying that if you had to pick one in that scenario, that's the only time I would choose sleep over food. I would usually choose food over sleep, though.
If I'm ever a meal behind somehow and I'm not on prep,
oh yeah,
I have a cheat meal always.
Get that dense meal.
Yeah, get a dense meal in and then just knock out like I'm supposed to early.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a little easier that way. Because I'm like, if you're eating 5, 6 meals, you're probably going to have, in this off season, you have enough protein already. So, and you're going to have at least your 50 grams of protein in that cheat meal. So,
yeah, man, in off season, like peak off season, it becomes like we don't count calories, but it becomes more of a calorie game because within some reason, right? Your protein can't be off by 100 grams. That's crazy. But let's say if, like you said, if you have that cheat meal, maybe your protein might be off by like 15, 20 grams or some shit like that, right?
Yeah.
That's flex.
Yeah, no, I got that problem.
Yeah, if it's off by 15, 20 grams off season, but you still got the calories in, and this is like 1 or 2 days in the week, it's not gonna fuck up your gains, One of those things. What's up, DT?
What's up, guys?
Hey, what up?
Joe, your fucking quads, boy, you're not even your quads, your legs, bro. That picture's crazy as fuck.
Thank you.
God, I saw that yesterday. I was like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, thank you, bro. Yeah, after getting off stage last year, me and Beatty talked about it. I was like, okay, let's fucking go. So I just.
Well, you definitely went. You definitely go. Yeah, you definitely. I don't know what you did, but you go. You're going.
Well, legs is one of those things that there's so many factors to it, right? You could look at. I feel this way about Nick too. Nick isn't as wide as Joe though, but still, like Nick, if you ever see Nick's legs, they're fucking huge, to the point that they're bigger than most people's legs that we say have big legs. But it's just that for him, it's the shape of his legs, right? On stage when you're that lean, you're looking at the shape more than the size. So you're like, And then you look at the upper body, his arms are so big. So it's like, his quads need to come up. But then it's like, his quads are huge. They just don't have the sweep that like a Martin. If you measure his legs and Martin's legs, I got news for you. Nick's legs is probably bigger. But it doesn't appear that way because Martin has the beautiful like sweep shape,
That's the crazy
tiny waist.
Yeah. So same way, if you look at Joe's legs, even years ago, his legs are huge, but Joe's shoulders are just fucking wide.
You know what I noticed? Like getting into bodybuilding, I was all legs. I was all like quads, like in my real younger years.
Yeah.
And I don't know what happened. I feel like everything started catching up and the legs slowed down. I was like, what the fuck?
Isn't it fucked up? It's fucked up how that happens.
Yeah. And then you're like, am I getting too old for this? But I'm still progressing. But it's all just an illusion too. Like you said.
Unfortunately, what's up, Alicia?
Hi, boys.
Alicia.
Unfortunately, in bodybuilding, things don't I feel like you make your best progress in your 30s, but you lose something to gain something, right? So
Yeah.
you're gaining muscle density, you're gaining muscle size, but you don't have the same pop and roundness, right? If you have some injuries, you start losing some body parts. So you're losing
Yeah.
some body parts, but you're
Yep.
gaining some body parts, right? It's
Yeah.
like a fucked up trade off, you know.
Yeah. I think that actually happened to me because my knees are not the best. So I can only do so much, but my upper body's fine. So it's like that trade. Do you guys feel like leaner body parts in the off season don't grow as much? Does that make sense? Like your leanest body part, like let's say mine is my legs. So I feel like maybe this is a bro science way, but because there's not much meat or fat on my legs, it takes longer to grow.
I'm gonna be honest. My leanest body part has always been my back. Like it always stays a little leaner, and that's always kind of grown with the rest of me.
Really?
I think well with injuries, right? Like for example, like we talked about Paul a lot at his age and stuff, the injuries he's accrued, but I feel like getting really like smart and dialed in with your training style and making sure you're contracting the muscle, not moving the weight kind of
Right.
thing. You can't you can train around injuries and keep muscle growing. Like for example, I started off this off season like lifting pretty heavy, and then once my knees started taking a toll, I started training a little bit more like Nick, where I actually felt my muscles and shit. And then that actually helped me a ton because my sweeps, like you guys said, came up because I was actually like very focused on how I was doing my movements. So like on hack squats, all that tension was being pressed through my sweeps. On leg press, the tension was on my sweeps. So and no knee pain, but my muscles are like my legs are fucked up right now. Like no knee pain. So like you ever seen someone do a leg extension, for example, and I think damn near like a good 80% of bodybuilders can what is it rack a leg extension, right?
For sure.
Like can load it. And but if you really actually like contract it from the bottom up and not just pick it up, that shit's fucking hard and it really hurts at like half the weight. So training like that, you know, actually squeezing the muscle bellies from the bottom up and not really using momentum and just focus on contraction, your legs or whatever body part you're doing is gonna fucking grow.
Yeah. I think you guys kind of make the same point, right? What's up, Stu? First of all, good, Stu.
Oh, Stu.
So
where's Ken?
He said
Ken would be here.
He's
I'll fucking leave if he doesn't show up, man.
He said he's gonna pop on, but you know, Ken a celebrity now. You know what I'm saying? He getting the big bucks now.
That's why I love you here, man.
He gotta be fashionably on time. You know what I'm saying? But,
fashionably on time.
Yeah,
I never heard it said like that before.
Now fashionably late because Nigerians can't be late. He's fashionably on time. Yeah, it's a different. Yeah,
I was just gonna say it's a Nigerian thing, clearly.
Yeah, it gotta be
about the loop.
No, but I was saying, yeah. So DT, I do agree that your body part that stays leaner, you can't clang and bang as much. If your style of training is like really heavy, clanging and banging, I think it's gonna be harder to grow it because you don't have the cushion, right? You don't have the cushion on that part. But if you train a certain way, I think you can work around it. You know, whereas the body part, let's say if your legs stay fat in all season, you know, you have a lot more cushion to really train harder, I guess, you know. Yeah. So that is something I know is that as you get older, your legs stay leaner. You notice that, right?
Bro, it's been it's weird.
Almost too lean.
I wish my love handle stayed leaner.
But almost to the point, like when you're younger, it's hard to get those lean glutes, right? And the lean hams and shit. But then you can train heavy as fuck because you got all that fucking water and shit all over, all around your legs. So you can do all that heavy shit. But then they start staying lean. Like your arms and legs stay lean as you get older. And you're like, what the fuck? This is weird. And you'll hold all the bullshit here. Your fucking, cheeseburger titties and fucking love handles. Bro, it's like you hit an age and I remember I could get fat as fuck and never have no love handles, no cheeseburger tits. it was shaped nice. It was like nicely shaped fat. And now the fat it does some weird shit. You're like, oh, this don't look nice, you know. So
That is some weird shit.
you gotta keep it. Stu not there yet. Stu still holds his fat pretty. You know, he got the he got the fat sitting pretty right now. Stu don't even get fat, low key.
Yeah,
dude.
Let me see. Stu, you posted any updates? I want to see what Stu looking like.
No,
He posted a back double on a
I
story.
look about the same, man.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
And you're I forgot. You probably told us what you're doing already. Are you in like pre-prep yet, or are you still off season?
Not yet. No, next weekend.
Okay. Let me see if Stu
Gonna get
has
my
something.
blood work done with
You-
Merit Health.
Oh
Use my code. If you're
You still get your blood work?
up. Yeah, I get my blood work done. What?
I thought you gave up on that.
I gave up on that.
Didn't you tell me? Didn't you tell me through text that you gave up on the blood work?
That must have been one of your other stupid friends, bro.
All right, let's look at Stu. Here's Stu with the wifey, mean mugging.
shout out Megan.
Oh, this can't be new because oh, never mind. This is old.
He's froed out.
You don't got no updates then, yeah.
Didn't he post a rare double?
Oh, I think it was on
Long
story.
Oh no! Don't get Beatty trying to navigate my fucking story.
We don't want that. We don't want to see
Yeah,
that.
you're not good at that, man.
I don't understand how this shit works. The 3D printer. How the fuck do you print?
I'm not gonna try to explain it to you, man.
Is this legal?
Oh my god, it's Ken. Hey Ken.
It was
No way.
Where you see Ken,
guys?
Yeah.
Where you think?
There you go. It's been a minute. There you go.
You guys hear me?
Yeah.
We can hear you,
Yeah,
man.
there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people on. Can you see me?
You never know with this podcast, bro. It could be just me by myself, or it could be a fucking 8 people. You never know, bro. I don't know. What's up, my guy?
I miss the bros, man. Yeah, I've been good, man. I've been good. It's good to see you guys, Beatty.
Yeah.
Apologies, I know I haven't been on, but dude, you know how the prep goes with us, bro. It's not it's not pretty.
Hey.
I'm not out here eating 5,000 carbs like Wyatt, you know. So
once I see Ken with lines in his glutes, I'm gonna leave. I just leave him alone because I'm like whatever he's doing is not gonna be fun. It's not gonna be pretty, you know. So I know you probably having crumbs at the moment. Look at his face. Even his face got lines in it.
yeah,
lines
dude.
in his face.
Honestly, man, like I'm at the condition I was at 4 or 5 weeks out from North Americans right now.
Sure.
Based on a condition like my glutes, the lines are starting to come in. I mean, I'm trying not to show too many progress photos, but you guys have seen the ones that are out there already. We're on track. We're on track for this prep, and it's just comforting. You know, I've been working with Andrew now since 2022. You know, he's seen my body from when I was 220 pounds all the way to 285, and I think we've worked out a very good system that's efficient for me, you know, in terms of fat loss. I think I'm not suffering as much as I suffered for North Americans, you know, but I'm getting into like really, really good condition pretty quickly. I mean, I had today's my second high day. This is like revolutionary for me. High days didn't exist in my contest prep. You know, I'm having 2 in a row. So as you can tell, I'm a little bit happy today. You know, things are moving, and yeah, I feel very confident, man. Like for where we are in prep, like God willing, you know, we don't fuck things up. We keep going with this same kind of momentum. I think I could bring a really, really good showing to New York that would at least not make people say that, oh man, this guy's washed up or something, you know. So we'll see what happens.
I think having more muscle can definitely help in that, as far as you're a bigger body, but you're a bigger body with a higher demand, right?
Yeah.
So it seems like usually when you have more muscle, the prep preps don't get harder, right? The only what I'm surprised about that hasn't happened is a lot of times that some of that new muscle that you put on off season, you see guys lose a lot of it going into prep, especially guys who have to do a lot of cardio and low food, end up losing a lot of that tissue. And I don't see you. It doesn't look like you're losing shit, which is
Yeah.
good.
I mean, it's a two-parter, right? So depends on how long the off season ran.
Yeah.
I was in a very long off season from pretty much 2023. So we had time to sit. Don't forget, I went up to 280, went back down to 270s, and then went back up to like 285, 287. So I had a lot of time to sit and let my body, get accustomed to that weight.
Learn
So
it.
yeah. So I think that the longer time you sit there, and of course, like when you first get to that weight, it's not really real muscle, right? Let's be real. It's like water and all that. Because when I first hit 280s, it didn't look the same as when I hit 280s again. That second Q4, I was a lot tighter. So you can definitely tell that, the muscle tissue was added there. My body was just trying to get accustomed to that weight the first time. So there's a couple of different factors. The thing too with me is when it comes to like bodybuilding competitive wise, I'm still very, very green, very, very young in this, So like I haven't been competing for like 20 years where it's like, okay, his body has hit its limits of where it's supposed to go. I'm still growing into, where I'm potentially going to end up. So it kind of makes things a little bit different versus if you've already been, competing for like 10, 15 years. Like you're not going to put on 10, 15 pounds all of a sudden in one off season that you didn't put on 10 years ago, So
This is
yeah.
facts. So as you talking, I'm gonna pull up your page because it's been brought to my attention just because I know how you guys look. That everybody everybody who watches doesn't know how you guys look, right? So even though Ken is famous now, there's still people who don't know your physique as well as we do. So I got to make sure when I'm talking.
I'm an underground guy. I'm not famous.
No,
I'm
no.
not famous.
You famous to the hardcore guys. You know what I'm saying? That's all that matters. But yeah, so when I talk about y'all, I got to pull y'all up because I always assume everybody knows y'all physiques, right? But let's see. This was a week ago. So okay. So we haven't spoke for a while. How's the prep been from start to now, as far as mentality, as far as how your body is responding, training, the whole nine?
So
You didn't have this. You didn't have your lats from the front like this before. I don't remember seeing that. Right?
no, I did. If you go to my North Americans pick,
You had
if
that.
you
Okay.
yeah, to the top right, it should show what I looked like. So everything is just bigger. So top right there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. You did have it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a bigger body, so things kind of look a little bit
Pronounced.
more in your face, right? A little bit more in your face. But at the start, I would say at the start of this prep, the first thing we noticed, and let me start with corrections of things that have been going on since the offseason that we've talked about on this podcast. So OGs of the pod, you guys probably know what I'm about to talk about. A lot of things that were fixed that have moved into this prep that have sort of helped things was one, my sleep, right? I got on the CPAP in the off season. I didn't know that I wasn't sleeping all throughout the other preps, so it made actually losing weight a lot harder, right? Because I wasn't actually recovering. So going on a sleep app during the off season this time for the first time, I blew up. Like my weight just started to skyrocket, right? So things were moving efficiently. The second thing we talked about was training, right? I switched my training, the way I do training, it towards like Q2, end of Q2 of the year. So around like the summertime when I went over to Texas, trained with Andrew, and I started to see a lot of benefit from that, a lot of response as we started to push up. So those two things sort of helped. And then moving into the prep, the last North Americans, we figured out that, and I've talked about it on this pod again, I'm not the guy that does like Stu that walks in the woods and gets shredded, right? You got to put me on intervals. So
What are you trying to say, dude? The woods are pretty.
back when you were in Oregon, man, you'd be walking in the woods. You'd be walking in the woods and getting shredded glutes. You know,
I guess I'll just walk through the fucking hood down here in Dallas or something. Shot.
Might get shredded for real. Shredded in real life.
He'd be walking in the woods and getting shredded, you know. So like
running.
For me, like, you know, we've had to do intervals, like stairs intervals. I did that North Americans. I'm doing it this time. And, you know, once we switched the cardio to that, my weight just started to drop and drop and drop. And I just get tighter and tighter. We're not new here. None of us, we've been competing for a little bit. So you kind of know, you know, when you're in contest prep, you're not dropping your volume. You're actually sometimes, like, because you're now at a decent kind of weight, your performance in the gym gets better. You know, I'm less out of breath. So my actual training actually got better as I started to lose weight, right? Because now I'm no longer out of breath. My cardiovascular endurance is a lot better. So I was pushing even harder in the gym, and that response as well just created this whole atmosphere that's kind of, you know, pushed us to where we are right now. And it's kind of, if it's not broken, don't fix it. Like, we haven't really changed much. Like, it's been little tweaks here and there throughout the prep since we started 20 weeks out, right? Because I do longer preps. So it's been little tweaks here and there within the last 10 to 12 weeks. But we haven't had any kind of drastic changes because I'm responding just so well to what we're doing right now.
That's fire. That's fire. Hey, Stu, you got any questions, Stu? Stu is excited to have you on.
So how does it feel being the favorite for the New York Pro?
Favorite?
Let me clarify. For the people who know, like me and Sid and Beatty, you know, we know you're gonna spank people.
I think so.
Is that pretty cool?
So here's the thing. I don't know if I would consider myself the favorite for New York. Like, I'm not gonna come here and say, oh, I'm gonna beat Nick Walker or Martin if they show up to New York. I don't know if that's gonna happen. I've never even stood next to Nick or seen Martin in real life for me to even give a educated analysis on if I'm going to be competitive next to them.
Give me such a serious answer. Goddamn. Just trying to gas you up, dude. No, I think if you show up in shape like you're on track to do, you're going to beat a lot of people that you're not supposed to beat, assuming you don't get rooked.
Yeah.
The good thing is nowadays I feel like you don't have to pay your dues as much. Besides Stu,
sometimes you're just bad.
but generally, you don't have to pay your dues for 4 years to get that call out anymore. So that's a good thing for Ken, you know.
Yeah, and you know, New York is kind of like the coming out party, right? Beatty, you're in New York. You're from New York. You're from the East Coast. You kind of know that. Yeah. If you're turning pro, you don't just step into the pro league without starting from New York, right? It's like a rite of passage. Yeah. So that's kind of why I chose New York. I'm not gonna say like I was planning to win New York. If I win New York, it'd be great. Of course, I'm going in there to win. I'll be honest with you guys, but that's not the main goal. It's kind of a rite of passage type of thing, you know. And then Legion is 2 weeks after. So Legion is where I want to put on. Huh?
It's only 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Wait, when is the Cal? The Cal is 1 week after?
A week after. So it's So New York.
Why are you skipping over? Why are you skipping over Cal, Ken? Why you didn't jump in Cal?
It's a little far, you know. Flight. I don't know.
Other corner of the U.S., man. Long way.
Don't get me in trouble, baby. Don't get me in trouble.
I noticed you went New York and then straight to Leeds.
That is kind of
I'm just curious.
They like black guys there. Sometimes white guys.
Don't get me in trouble, baby, man. Don't get me in trouble.
I'm sorry. I can't help it. I don't know. I can't help it.
Yeah.
But
shout out muscle contest.
Shout out. This is not this is not right. This is not good. All right, so back to the question. All right. Oh, okay. So Legion is gonna be in where is it at?
Vegas.
Reno.
Yeah.
Why? I don't like. No offense. I don't like Reno. I think they should do it in Vegas. No. Why Reno? Like who the fuck wants to go to Reno? No offense.
It's been there for some time.
Wow.
Yeah, so I suspect, like, you know, Tonio's obviously put in his card for it. He's not doing New York. He's planning to place there. Regan is from Vegas, so Regan most likely. Sergio, if he's after FIBO, if he doesn't qualify from there, he's probably going to jump in. And then a couple of people from, you know, New York Pitts, Cali, I suspect will jump into that show too, since they're all around the same. I got to say, the Pittsburgh Pro, being at this time of the year, kind of threw a wrench in sort of like the competitors that come into this time of the season. It seems like, you know, the Bonacs and stuff, like, we typically don't see them coming around the New York time. It's typically closer to the Olympia. But, you know, with the Pittsburgh Pro, it's kind of thrown a wrench in the whole thing. So New York is going to be stacked. Cali, Vegas, I keep saying Vegas, Reno, they're all going to be stacked shows, you know. So it's going to be pretty cool to kind of see what happens.
Right, yeah. I'm excited, man. Honestly, I'm excited because I think we're at a time that there's so much talent that you don't know what the fuck is going to happen. You really don't.
Yeah.
You know, I'll see videos that people will say, yeah, this person is going to qualify for Olympia. This person, I'm like, you know, you're not wrong, but it's like there's so many people, bro. So like we don't really know who's the fuck is going to qualify. I mean, even some of the top guys aren't going to get it as easy as usual, you know. So
yeah, I mean, people, you know, the bodybuilding consensus, right, to the public sometimes gets skewed when you from an actual real life competitor's trajectory versus what the public expects, right? So, you know, you look at people from our generation, you know, Stu, Jordan, Quentin, me, Carlos, like, not many of us have gone to the Olympia. Maybe Tonio. Tonio maybe the only one. Probably Tonio's the only one.
He's like early 30s now, or mid 30s, right?
yeah, I think he's a little bit before y'all guys. I would say more like Jordan, Joe, Ross. You can say Ross. Ross is older, but Ross is still. Ross been to the Olympia, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, Ross. So Tonio and Ross are the only ones, you know. The rest of us are still trying to get there. So when you look at the landscape, people are like, oh, you know, he's not Nick Walker. He didn't win his pro show, or he's not Andrew Jack. He didn't win his pro show and go straight to the Olympia and come top 5. The guy is washed. It's like, no, they're the anomaly. You know, that's not the norm. So sometimes I feel like we got to put that in perspective. And I'm trying to make sure, because myself too, I'm trying to put that in perspective to be realistic with myself. Like, I want to go to the Olympia this year. I plan to go to the Olympia. And I'll tell you guys that, you know, I'm going to do what it takes, like, from a competitor standpoint, like dieting hard to get there for my shows. But if it doesn't happen, it's not like I'm a failure. You know, it's not like I'm a failure. Like, there's still a trajectory that has to happen. And maybe, you know, I'm not an Andrew Jack. I'm not a Nick Walker, right? Like, I'm not that once in a lifetime generation type of guy, but I will still get there, you know? So I try to put those things in perspective as well, as where, because I saw something on my page, and I'll shut up after this. Some guy was like, oh, we should nickname you the future. And I'm like, no.
Whoa,
Don't nickname me no future. I'm like, there's been too many of those. Let me just get into the show. Let me see where I stack up. I don't know where I stack up. Let's just see where I stack up, and let's see where the chips fall. That's it.
Yeah, no nicknames, no Ronnie comparisons, none of that shit. Once they start making the comparisons, if you every big black guy is Ronnie, right?
Yeah. And then if you have hair, they put you as Kai.
Oh yeah, if you got long hair, you Kai. If you classic, you Bumstead. Everybody got to be the new somebody. It's like you could just be Ken. Let's just keep it Ken for now. That's all we need. All right, good. Nice catching up with Ken. All right, Ken hasn't talked about he hasn't been here for a while, but let's switch it off with Ken. I feel like Ken got enough airtime.
You can leave now, Ken. I know you're busy.
Nah, I'll fuck with you. But you wasn't here during the whole Arnold thing. But we actually haven't talked about the. I wanted to talk about the men's physique thing. So I think we're gonna all agree to some extent, but I think there's some gray area. So the what I want to ask you is, do you think, obviously nobody thinks they should get paid as much as open, obviously, but do you think they deserve more money at all? Does anybody think
So I think there's a misconception in the video, and maybe someone can correct me, because I think Ali Bilal said he got paid 10 grand, but I don't think 10 grand was the actual winning purse for men's physique at the
No.
So
it was 25.
The purse was 25, but after taxes and everything, it was like 14.7 or something like that. And
everybody
they
got
just
paid
straight up, pulled that straight out when they gave him the money. I think it wasn't
that's kind of
usual. No, it is super weird. I don't know if that's because he's not from here. I don't believe he lives in the States, right? He's Turkish.
I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so.
They're trying to say like they're gonna take out the U.S. tax for you. We got it covered. We'll tax. That's kind of weird.
Yes,
he's supposed to pay the
dude. Holy shit, bro! Like if they audited any of these promoters, they'd have a field day. Like the IRS would just clean house. Like they do so much weird shit. I still haven't gotten any tax documents for my shows last year.
Oh no!
I reached out to him. I was like, "Hey, send my fucking docs," and nothing.
That's crazy.
I'm
gonna
ask the question real quick.
Oh yeah, good. But let's go by 25 grand. Let's say 25 grand is what they got.
So if they give you 25 grand, what if you are LLCing yourself as a company?
And you can write an EIN.
That's what I'm saying. So
you fill out a W-4 backstage, and then they give you a check, and you could put in an SSN or an EIN if you're doing a LLC.
Because I was like, that's really fucked if they just take it out and you're trying to write shit off. And
well, I know that the European shows, like in the past, somebody told me that they won a show there, and they handed him like $7 grand in cash, just US dollars cash. And the prize money was 10. They're like, "Oh, we took out taxes already." So they just like what?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Or just Venmo me, man. Just Venmo me. That's all.
Oh yeah, no. He said Ali said he had to pay PayPal fees, and they charged him like $300
for like conversion to a different currency. It's ridiculous, bro.
But like, here's my thing, right? Going back to it, I mean, how many men's physique shows are paying 25 grand, regardless of taxes, right? So that's the first thing. The second thing, where I agree with him, where it's kind of getting old, is everyone kind of rags on physique. Let's be real. Like, when you look at the sport from a professional sense, like, should we really be ragging on like a division, publicly on stage? It's Arnold's show. He can say whatever he wants. It's just, we've all watched the Arnold for 7-8 years straight, and every time the physique guys come on, it's the same rhetoric, right? So at some point it gets old. I think this is just a pushback based on years and years of this stuff just happening. I think, I don't know if you guys ever remember this last year, but I think it was Diego Montenegro, when he won the Arnold last year, and he when Arnold handed him the trophy, he started crying, and he actually started crying on Arnold's shoulder, and Arnold was like, "Oh, get away from me." I don't know if you guys remember that.
yeah,
yeah, and it's like, "Oh, these physique guys, man, what are you doing?" It's like, so it's like there's always this thing with the physique division. So at some point, you're gonna have to like say enough is enough. So I agree with Ali in that sense. But when it comes to the money, or when it comes to, we bring more eyes and that stuff, no one can compare to the Open, man. Let's be honest here. Like, if the Open doesn't exist, bodybuilding falls flat on its face. Like, these divisions, they have their own separate shows where it's just classic or physique. You don't hear about these shows, but they exist in the IFBB. No one hears about it because there's not really much coverage because there's no interest realistically. It's in the amateur division because it's more attainable. That's why physique is popular, not really in the pro division itself.
I think we all want everybody to get paid more. Shit, we want second place in open to get paid more. We want the women to get paid more. We want every division to get paid more because I think they should. But I just don't like the comparison that, well, they get this, so we should get. And it's like, you can't really compare it. I don't think you can compare it. I think you can just say, without even mentioning bodybuilding, yo, we deserve more than 25 grand. I think that's fair for you to feel that way, even if other people don't agree with it. I think it's fair for you to feel that way. But
and for me, it's like you forget that like you're even a division at the Arnold. There's so many divisions that didn't make it there. Like me personally, I just want the muscle divisions in the Arnold. I want it to be pure bodybuilding. I want women's bodybuilding, women's physique, and then men's bodybuilding. 212, right? Classic physique, and then women's figure. Just make it pure bodybuilding. That's what I enjoy. That's what I like to see. But you forget that there's some divisions that didn't even get a chance to make it there. So when you put out statements like that, it's kind of like you got to look at the bigger picture, man. Like you're even on that stage. 212 guys. There's like 5 or 6 shows in the US today for 212.
That's
no one. Is anyone asking them if it's fair? No one's asking them, right? So you got to think about it sometimes, from the other lens.
He wasn't saying anything about the other divisions, though. I honestly don't have anything involved with what he said. I think, like, he shows up to the second biggest men's physique show in the world, wins it, and gets dissed by the guy, but by Arnold on stage. I'm sorry, as a man, like, I'm no fan of men's physique, right? But there's still people, and like, you expect him to come back and compete again when you just talk shit to his face in front of a huge crowd of people. Like, fuck off, bro. Like, why do they still give this guy a mic? I think he's absolutely standing on business and like he's like, no, you're gonna say that about me? Fuck you. And as far as the prize money goes, he doesn't need it. He's probably making money from other stuff.
Well, he could do I'm pretty sure that's why Sarah sponsors the Texas Pro, because the women's physique division got pulled from the Arnold. And that's why she gives a big purse at the Texas Pro, because that's kind of like the women's physique's Arnold.
Yeah, he's kind of new to the league, though. Like, he kind of blew up recently.
And he's younger too, right? He's a little younger, like 25.
I presume so. All these fucking guys are good looking.
He has a crazy story. Like, he walked across like the Middle East or some shit to get to America or something like that. He's got like a very interesting story.
I mean, that's the only way out of Afghanistan. You can't. Like, you're not going to catch a red eye. So you better escape.
Yeah.
No, but
so that's where I agree with him. That's where it's like, listen, people are ragging him for defending himself and saying that. It's like, when is it enough is enough? Where everyone is always ragging on men's physique. Like, it gets to a point where they got to be like, listen, like, we're people, like Stu said, we're people too. Like, enough is enough. The division is here for a reason. So I agree with him on that. I just don't agree on the money thing.
So Arnold is a ball buster, right? So am I. But I'm not the promoter of the Arnold Classic. I think that's the difference. We could sit here and crack jokes all in fun. But if we were promoting a show that has men's physique, that's where the problems lie, right? John Romano said this, right? It sounds like you hate men's physique, like you hate it. He said, why do the Federation even have it? This is your show. You don't even have 212. You don't have women's bodybuilding. You don't have men's physique. So why do you have it? Right? Why am I asking, hey, Jim, why do you have this division? Motherfucker, it's your show. Why do you have it? Right? You don't have to. So the truth is that if you really hate it and you don't get it and you think it's silly and you think they shouldn't cover their legs, maybe you shouldn't have it. So if you're having it, there's a reason why you're having it, right? You probably feel like, well, it's popular or I'm making money. I don't think Arnold needs the money, but still. So if you really don't like this division, you can just simply not have it. I think that would be an easier way. So you don't have it and then grab the mic just to shit on them, whether it's lighthearted or not, right? So you have it just to grab the mic and shit on them every single year. Why not just not have it so you don't have to deal with watching the guys in shorts, right? I mean,
I think because it still draws money for him. So I think it's one of those, and I know it's kind of fucked up, and especially with him saying, "Well, they should show their legs more." Well, it's not classic. This man's physique.
The whole point. That's the point of the division.
He's just a fucking geriatric boomer. Like he doesn't know what he's saying, man. Like what? For 4 years, we watched Joe Biden stumble over his words as president, right? And we're like, okay, let's take the mic away from this guy. This is not political, but like old people say dumb shit, okay? Because they're from a different era and
out of touch.
Arnold doesn't even understand open bodybuilding nowadays.
He's still talking about calves. He's still talking
about Andrew Jack. Tell him.
I'll say this though. I'm not going to say here and disrespect Arnold. The guy is a legend, but like you guys said, he's from a different era of bodybuilding. But you also have to realize what he stands for. Like outside of Joe Weider, Arnold is the next biggest symbol in bodybuilding, and he's basically the biggest symbol alive today. Yeah. So his words do carry meaning. So I'm not going to rag on him and say he doesn't know what he's talking about. He's coming from an era where this is where everything started from. He's coming from the origin. He's the original. You know what I mean? So we can't really go ahead and say that. Bodybuilding pulled in a direction that wasn't the vision it was originally set out to be. Think about it. There's only so many people alive today that actually know what Joe Weider's actual vision for bodybuilding was, and he's one of them. So when he speaks on these things, it does make sense. The whole bubble gut thing, he was the reason why that got pulled back, right? He's a reason why Open today has so many aesthetic guys like Samson and Andrew, because of the things he said in 2015, 2014, when things were going out of whack. So I can't say that about him, but what I will say is also you have to realize, you kind of just have to realize, like man, like these guys are like pioneers of the sport. I feel like because he's alive today, we can say these things, but when he passes, you're not going to realize how much of an impact this guy really had, like in the sport itself. You know what I mean? So his words do carry weight, and I think that's why for guys like Ali, it stings a little bit harder, because we all got into this at some point. Arnold was an icon or an idol to some of us at some point. So when you get a chance to finally meet the guy or hear him even notice something about you, and the first thing he says about you is negative, you're not looking at it from, oh, it's my division. You're looking at it's a personal thing, because this is someone that you've looked up to your entire life.
You respect.
So it's different. Yeah, it's different.
So I do agree with Ken. 98%. The only issue with that 2%, your words carry tremendous reason until it doesn't anymore, right? It's like my grandma was the matriarch. She's passed away now, but her words carry so much meaning, right? And then she started pushing 70. Then it's like, what was that, grandma? Yeah, I don't believe you should do this. And you're like, that didn't make sense. Then she starts pushing her 80s. Then it's like she's mumbling at that point. Then it's like maybe her words don't carry as much weight anymore, just because it's not her fault. She's just getting to an age where she don't understand. She just doesn't know anymore, right? Because it's so far out of touch. And I think everybody gets to that point. I'm not saying Arnold's there yet, but he getting close to it. He's starting to say more and more things that it still makes sense, but it's starting to get out of touch, right? When somebody has an amazing physique and you're like, but look at his calves, and it's like, I get what you're saying, but that's not really how we judge anymore, right? So but the bubble gut thing was spot on. So it's like he got a point where some of the things make sense, but it's getting out of touch. But there's gonna come a time where Stu's right. You're gonna just have to take the mic away from him, because it's gonna get to a point where it's just not. You can't.
There's no filter. He's literally saying what's on his mind without thinking about, I'm being live broadcasted to the entire world.
Yeah,
hey man, if I'm giving out $500,000, I can say whatever the hell I want. That's just it.
That's
It's
a good
my
point.
show. If it wasn't his show, and he was saying this is the Olympia, okay, fine. I agree with you guys. It's his show. He's sponsoring it. He's the one giving out the money. He can say whatever the hell he wants.
The issue is who's going to stop him, right? Because Brian Powers is going to be like, hey, Arnold, maybe Arnold, maybe you shouldn't say that. Arnold's going to be like, excuse me? Get the fuck out of here, motherfucker. And then what are you going to do? That's the hard part, right? How do you stop it?
I'm actually curious, like, who owns that production? Because, like, it can't be entirely Arnold, right? Like,
it's probably under. Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, but that's why, like, these companies always have, like, a board, right? If, like, Vince McMahon gets kicked out of WWE, be like, I think he's the owner. Yeah, but ownership can't work that way because one person can't have all the say, because then it always goes to shit. Every time somebody has all the say, they're gonna get old, bro. They're gonna get old, and then shit is gonna go left. You know.
We know that. Alyssa and I know that. Real. Motherfucker just doing whatever he wants.
Yeah.
That's how life goes. So yeah, I mean, it's gonna get to that place that where Arnold is talking less than he used to, but eventually on that stream, man, let's just keep the mic to Phil Heath or Fuad or whoever's talking about.
No, give it to fucking Nick Miller, because Nick is a legend. Okay,
I like Nick.
I
like
fuck
Nick
with
too.
that dude.
I like Nick, but yeah, I mean, Arnold he's still funny, he's still charismatic, but how old is Arnold, bro? He's like close to 80. He got to be getting close to 80.
Yeah, he's close to 80. He's close to 80.
Oh yeah, it's getting a little shaky, but if you take that mic away from him, he might swing on your ass. So be careful. Be careful. Right. I wasn't going to talk about the Nick and Bob thing, but I think that's done with.
We let that die.
Yeah. I'm not partaking in that one.
I think it worked though, because think about it. We talked about the podcast, and I think Stu looked and he was like, "Well, they're not getting any views. They're gonna get views. They're getting views now. I'm sure."
Okay. Dude, this is the only way to stay relevant in the bodybuilding and fitness world. Start shit, just for no reason, right? What were they even mad about in the first place? It's like, I think you're going to place lower than you think you're going to place.
It started with Bob saying that Nick has an H frame.
That's rude. That's a rude thing to say, though. But Nick responding only he only makes Bob popular. Nick isn't going to get popular from Bob, right?
He's going to sell some T-shirts, though. That's cool.
Oh, good point. Yeah. So
everybody wins, man.
Everybody wins, you know.
Bro, like Bob asked for a 2XL on that post he made with his shirts.
I've seen Bob. Bob is a 3 to 4X, bro. I don't think Bob could.
He's a big dude,
yeah.
He's not fat. Like, he's just barrel chested.
He's like he looks like that. Like that power lifter, you know, the middle-aged power lifter build. That's what I see. No offense. I don't mean it in a bad way. But yeah, I guess everybody wins, you know, so no losses. But nowadays, if you want to get views fast, that's the formula. Talk some shit. You know, yeah. I see pages that all they do is talk shit. It's nonstop. And I know why they're doing it. And I see the comments, guys are like, bro, why? I'm like, but I'm feeding into it too, because I'll reply to the reply like, bro, you know why he's doing it. He knows you're gonna respond. But my response is also fueling that too. So it's a win-win. They know it's rage bait, you know. And Nick Trigili at this point is all rage bait. I don't even think he cares what he says. I don't think he's even thinking it through. I think he's just saying whatever he thinks people are gonna get a reaction at this point, you know. His YouTube channel was good. I really liked his YouTube channel, but
I liked his YouTube, yeah.
This Instagram thing, I know he's just literally I don't even think those are his views. I think he's just saying the most craziest shit to get the most reaction, which is unfortunate. There's just
yeah, bodybuilding and BS was cool. It was like a TMZ. It wasn't always true, but it was like a TMZ type style. You know, it was cool.
It was fun.
It wasn't always true. It was rarely true.
like TMZ.
Gossip. Yeah,
it's like TMZ. Like, I don't think of myself as somebody who loves gossip, but I think it's a little bit of it's human nature.
Bitch, you love gossip. What the fuck is this podcast? Like, what? You don't like gossip. I love gossip. I know it's not good. I love it.
Well, let me say I like to believe that I don't like gossip, but then I would see like it would be like something like Hunter LeBron and his training
Yeah,
partner. I'm
I
like,
got you.
what? I would be like, oh yeah, let me see what's going on here. Oh shit, this is. I'm like, oh, okay, this is fun. I don't know why. It's unfortunate, but it works, bro. And the numbers will tell you it works. Every single person who does just positive videos versus doing the drama shit, it works every time.
Because Stu says it all the time, and it's true. What is there to talk about, man? Like realistically, what is there to talk about?
Okay,
There's
I'm
nothing
gonna
to talk about.
I'm gonna toot Nick's horn again. I don't think Nick starts shit with anybody. I think he covers like normie topics and some influencer stuff. Nick doesn't care about that. Nick's just running a news channel. But like, I don't know. He doesn't really shit on anybody.
But Nick is legacy. You're talking like
he's
Nick,
legacy media. Yeah, he's been around since like 2017.
Louis Marco.
It
was just him and Louis Marco when this whole thing started. He's legacy, so he doesn't need to do. Yeah, and RX Muscle. He doesn't need to do that. All these other channels, they're trying to gain some of that viewership, so that's why they try to do a lot of this stuff just to get that. So yeah,
I want to see Nick do like he used to do as an amateur, like some of the vlogs and stuff, just random everyday shit, because he usually does the sit downs talking, and that's when he's in Nick mode. And I kind of want people to see Nick just being a regular guy. I don't know. I think it's good to show both sides, not just the confident side, right? But sometimes show the insecure side. So sometimes show the not aggressive side. Sometimes, I think it's just cool to show all the sides, because I think if you only see one side of a person, you're gonna judge that person only off of what you see, which is all you can do, right? So I feel like Nick is a really good is a great person, is a good man, but I don't know if people get to see that side. So
I don't know if the fans want to see it, man. If I'm being honest, I mean, look at what he went through. Look at what he went through, like the last year, just because the guy had an injury that pulled him out of the Olympia, and people dragged his name through the mud. Like, he was in a vulnerable moment. That was a vulnerable moment that he came out and he got chewed out for it. So can you blame the guy for doubling down on?
Can I want to disagree with that. So like, if he had been like, open book, like more transparent from the jump, and then he's like, hey, I got fake drugs, or like whatever the reason was, and then he kind of explains why he's not doing the show, and then he like continues to like be transparent, then like maybe that would have led to less dogpiling. Not none, but less. But I don't think that's I just don't think that's how he set up his persona in the public image. He's set himself up as like, fuck the haters, I'm going to prove you all wrong, I'm going to place way higher than I'm supposed to, and he's made a career out of that, right? And I mean, being Mr. Relatable at this point would be a serious tone shift for him.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You feel like
I agree.
People wouldn't take it as well because they're gonna think he's doing it for the wrong reasons, right? They're gonna be like, oh, he's just being this way because he had a hard couple years.
I don't know. Maybe like, fuck, I'd love to see that personally. I don't know him as well as you, but like, I think that would be cool to see. At least like from my perspective, or like Ken's perspective, like as a professional, like, oh yeah, this is a normal guy too. Just like I'm a normal guy and Ken's a normal guy.
Yeah.
That would be cool to see.
It worked for C-Bum, but C-Bum was like that from the get-go. Right. Mm-hmm. So yeah, if you start being like that now, I don't know how people, but he's also getting older. So you can say, well, there's going to be changes with age, right? You're going to have a different level of emotional maturity, right? Than you would in your 30s versus 20s, so. I think he's kind of doing it a little bit with the Raw channel, like opening up more. But I would say it is vulnerable, but still guarded. It's a guarded vulnerability. Yeah. It's not completely vulnerable, which is, I don't know what he's comfortable with, but I think we would all love to see that, Right, Joe?
Yes, sir.
Joe was daydreaming. No, it wasn't.
Paul's having something done here.
Oh,
I'm kind of
okay.
like I'm trying to listen to see if he needs me because he needed me earlier. That's why I keep getting up.
Okay, no
If
worries.
Paul want to take a nap.
Hey, you know what I
Paul
noticed?
Wall. What's
There's
that?
no shit talking on the amateur ranks.
Bullshit.
I was gonna say, is there?
It's just not in
Behind the
it's
scenes,
not in the
yeah.
public.
Yeah, he's not a public guy.
I haven't seen anything on my end.
That's
So,
nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Is it-
Trust me.
It's just
There
behind the
is-
scenes, yeah. Behind the scenes.
There is, yeah.
I know an Indian guy actually who's like, man, he is very opinionated. Ken, I think you know him too.
I know.
But you know what? That's a good point. I don't hear public shit talking amateur ranks. I'm not gonna lie. I be talking some shit behind closed doors, but not.
I'm talking shit behind people's backs.
What I always say is I wouldn't say anything behind your back that I wouldn't say to your face, but I wouldn't come on a podcast and say it because I think that's rude. You know, I think that's rude. But I mean, I'm not trying to start a fight either. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna run up on you and tell you some shit. But if it came up in conversation, I wouldn't be like, no, I didn't say that. I'd be like, yeah, I said that, but it's true, bro. I mean, it is what it is. You know. But yeah, I guess the amateurs they don't say they don't say it out loud. I guess I don't know. The pros kind of maybe part of it also when you're an amateur, you don't feel like you're in a position where you should be calling people out publicly. I don't know. That might be part of it.
I just think it happens. I just think that the amateur ranks, people don't cover it as much, so you don't hear it as much, right? Like, look at Elliot Durman. Look at how much shit talking happened with him when he went. That's someone that was just so it just doesn't get covered as much. So, but it's there. Bodybuilding in general, just like outside of the competitors, like how we are amongst ourselves, like general public bodybuilding, it's just negative a lot of times. Once you've accepted that, you can move on with your life. Like today, everyone's gonna love you, but trust me, it's not gonna be like that forever. Samson's experienced it, Nick's experienced it. Once you can get that in your head and just live your life and do what you're supposed to, you'll be okay. That's just the way I see it.
Even Hadi, when Hadi walked off the stage, Hadi was getting a lot of negative press for a minute. We got short memory. I think we all forgot about that though. Samson had like a couple of months where he was getting negativity, and Samson's the most positive person we probably in the sport.
If Samson didn't win that Olympia, he will still be getting dragged through the mud today.
Yeah.
Think about
his wife, even about his wife coaching him and shit like that. Yeah. What about who do you think is the most hated on pro? Like, what pro receives the most hate?
I think Hunter or Regan.
Consistent. Nick gets hate in spurts.
Yeah,
but consistently
that are somewhat self-induced.
So
not entirely, but like somewhat,
yeah.
But Hunter has never said anything remotely controversial, bro. Nothing.
Nicest guy ever. He just from the beginning, just because of his name, he's just gone hate for no reason, and he's gone better. He keeps getting better, and people still keep, criticizing him. I don't know.
There was a time people said he only has a sponsor because of his dad, and I'm like, that's not actually wrong. Like as far as his dad sponsors him, but of course he would. I think he would get more money probably with a different company, if I'm being honest. Right? We're talking about Hunter here.
It's number 6 in the world. Yeah,
he probably would get more money. He's probably taking less money just to be part of like a brand that's personal to him, right?
Well, he's probably taking shares. Probably taking shares.
Yeah,
money, but that's okay.
Heir to the throne.
And I'm pretty sure his dad said as an amateur, like he was working for the company, like an employee. He wasn't an athlete. So I don't, and that's your dad. But if anything, your dad should want to help you, right? I mean, shit. I don't think that's anything.
He is somewhat involved in the company. He's not just a face.
Yeah,
but
meetings stuff.
This is someone that's delivering too. It's not like he's just like, oh, I'm some rich kid and I'm trying this bodybuilding thing and I'm trying to live off my name. The guy's number 6 in the world. What do you want from the guy? You know,
Yeah,
like
he's doing everything.
he's
He's doing
actually
everything, right.
delivering. He's actually delivering on the name.
Literally,
So-
they want him to renounce his father and like, yeah, just disown him.
And even better, he's not letting the hate affect him. He never lashes out. He never complains about it. It is what it is, right?
He doesn't
Like,
even pay attention, bro.
No,
Because it's so consistent. He just doesn't pay attention anymore.
no. I feel like Sergio receives hate, maybe similar reasons, but Sergio
Yeah.
actually, he hasn't done what Hunter did. And then Sergio also talks freely, right? Non-politically correct, right? So he's going to give himself more room to be, talk shit about, right? Yeah, so that would be kind of Sergio does receive some hate though, but I don't want to say self-induced, but he's not necessarily hiding his views and saying politically correct stuff. So I can see that more than I can see Hunter, you know. Shout out to Sergio though. I like Sergio.
He's doing FIBO, right? Is he doing FIBO?
Yeah,
He's like 4 weeks out. 4 weeks out, maybe 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like 3 weeks out, maybe, because FIBO's after Detroit, right?
Yeah. Who's the most hated amateur bodybuilder that received the most hate
Boston Lloyd.
of all time, probably,
And most loved, actually, for that matter.
He got a good loyal fan base too. I think I gotta say Elliot. Janik he receives hate, but I don't think it's. But I don't feel like it's real. I don't feel like it's real hate. I feel like it's shadow level hate, right? It's not like I don't think nobody would see Janik and be like, oh, I hate that guy, right?
It's jealousy. It's a jealousy hate.
Yeah, dude. Like I know a lot of like serious bodybuilders who just hate that guy because of the way that he trains, because of like how he is. You know, he's a social media guy, but he's also like a legit bodybuilder. You know, like he's good.
Yeah, he's
Looks
actually
great. He looks great.
I think so. I think the reason that he receives hate is not fair. It's not fair reasons. It's more so like I don't think people like the idea that he started off an influencer and actually built his physique the way it is, right? I guess.
And he's tall and handsome, dude. That's an easy person to hate, dude.
Yeah.
That's a short, ugly guy.
Elliot doesn't say anything controversial, at least not on purpose. But I think people are more upset at like the way his career has went. I guess is the way to put it. How do you put that? I think people are more upset that he doesn't step on stage, but he gets like the recognition. Maybe, I guess, is that fair to say?
Yeah,
I think he gets all this hype and he doesn't get to follow through ever. So
yeah, it's like so many people call him the best amateur in the world, not the America, the world, but like. Because of Instagram photos, but not anything he's done on stage. I think that's what the disconnect is, right? I think that's where it is.
the last time he stepped on stage, he looks pretty damn good, though. I think it matched up pretty damn well.
I don't think he's a better bodybuilder than Janicki, if I'm being honest. I don't think he's more complete than Janicki. I don't know. I don't think he would beat Janicki, if I'm being completely honest. But that's
I don't think he would. I don't think he would have beat A-Train either. At the Arnold, I don't think so.
I don't think he beats at the national. I don't think because he was gonna do the national. I don't think he would have beat Effort or I'm sorry, Regan.
Beatty, does he beat you?
Yeah, Regan.
He I think he'll beat me. Yeah, I think I think at least any looks I've gone so far about. I think he will beat me.
Are you blocked right now? Is that why you're saying that?
No,
Trying to get out of the doghouse.
You just got yourself unblocked, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, if we're going by the looks we both brought to stage, I think his last stage look would beat my last stage look for sure. You know. But,
it's hard to say because there are not so many photos. His last showing before he was supposed to go to nationals, the stage photos, you can't really see much, right? Like there weren't a lot of, you can't see much. So it's hard to say. But yeah, I still think A-Train A-Train would definitely have won, or
Yeah.
Janicki at this point. Yeah.
These guys, bro, these guys are huge. A-Train, Janicki, Effer, these guys are huge. You know, they have good shape. They in shape. I mean, these are no slouches, man. You know, stage is always different from Instagram. You know, so that I think that's important to keep in mind. That goes for pros and amateurs. Stages are different. You know. Yo, DT, you about to work out? Oh, I think he muted.
Can't hear you, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, you got headphones.
I'm gonna bounce in like a couple minutes too. So
No,
Can you hear me?
anyone got?
you have adult responsibilities and shit. What?
We can hear you now, DT.
Yeah, sorry. No, I'm just listening. I was just thinking about North Americans this year and who's actually doing it. And
You never know nowadays. You never know.
Yeah, I know. I think it's Chris. I don't know if that guy Ferg's doing it.
Oh, fuck. He might be, bro.
He's like 340 pounds or some shit like that.
Bro, he's a pipe fitter. He's on his feet all day, like running around.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, you're doing it too, Biddy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a
Did you do North Americans?
Yeah, man. The
Nigerians
keep winning, so I'm like, yeah. I like Nigerian, you know. I like Nigerian.
I look at everybody and I'm like, fuck. Everyone's like 20 pounds heavier than me right now. You know? And I'm like, oh.
Weight is just weight, man. You
know, I know. But that's where I get in my head. I'm like, dude, everyone's bigger than me that's doing this shit.
Yeah, don't let any of the Nigerians do that show, man. It's gonna be 3 years in a row. Don't let them.
Wait, DT, are you a heavyweight or a super?
So I'm really weird. Like I'm right on the cusp of like super and heavyweight.
Oh,
but I think this year I'll be probably like 238. I'm assuming.
Okay.
So, but I don't. See, like I said in our previous podcast, you know what I'm saying? It's a hobby. It's fun for me. Try my best and see where we go. You know.
I think that's how everybody should feel. You know?
Yeah, I know one other guy who's doing North Americans. Many near misses. A very slighted man.
Is Inferno doing it? Super, they came third.
Oh,
I think he is, right?
He might be. He might be.
He is.
He's good, bro. To be like stringing shows together, though, huh?
That's a long time.
Yeah.
He's one of he's one of those guys. It's like you know when you're like, huh? You know when you're like so balanced, like nothing stands out. Like he has a little bit of everything, but nothing's like. Does that make sense? Like nothing is like standing out. Oh, look at his quad, look at that. But he has everything.
Yeah. It's very
and sometimes those people don't stand out, even though they should stand out because they're balanced. You know. But
yeah, like what you have to do to win if you're like that is just be like overwhelmingly muscular. Yeah, like that's how I won the USA's. I think
that's what Stu is.
Stu is that person. Special about my physique.
Bully people with money, with muscle.
Yeah.
With money, you gonna bribe somebody?
No, I said bully people with muscles. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah.
Money works too.
Stu was that guy, but Stu was actually just bigger than everybody.
No, I wasn't bigger than Barrow. I think we were similar size, but he was
but body parts. His upper body is huge, but his lower, you're like balanced, like big everywhere.
I don't know, man. His lower body was pretty good.
It was pretty big.
Because I competed with Barrow at North Americans too. I mean, his upper, that's why he could deadlift so much. His upper is like a fucking Donkey Kong.
He didn't look as good. He didn't look as good at North Americans.
Yeah,
I think he was like just proportions and limb length and shape stuff like that is why I beat him there. But muscularity wise and condition wise, I think we were pretty close, honestly.
Yeah, Barrow's good, man. Barrow's good.
He's a bigger person than you. He looked like he was a bigger guy than you. But
his shoulders are very wide and his chest is like super barrel.
I've got a story. I've got a story about that. So obviously we all know each other. I'd never met Barrow before. He did North Americans, and I first saw him in the tanning room, and we both pass each other. And I'm looking at this guy. We're both in our shirts, about to tan, and he's like this, and I'm like, fuck, man. I'm like this. I'm like, I really like why is this guy even here, man? And you know, I hadn't spoken to him, and then you hear him talk, and he's got like a really soft voice, and he's like really nice. I'm like, damn, this is a nice guy. Barrow's actually a really nice guy, you know.
He talked to you?
Yeah.
He didn't talk to us.
He didn't talk to nobody. He was wearing head to toe like gasp baggy shit, right?
He was walking like this, yeah.
He's walking around this big looking guy, right? He didn't say a word to anybody until we got on stage.
I wanted to trip him. I was laying there. I wanted to trip his ass. I'm like, you fuck are you? He was walking around.
He was the favorite. He was the favorite going into the fucking show. So he was like, you know, confident.
He looked good. I mean,
for good reason, you know.
You know, he looks even bigger backstage in the oversized gas tee. You know, yeah. But
Shout out Barrow.
Once he talks to you, then you're like, okay, he's cool. But I kind of felt that way about all of you. But I mean, I'm not really the nicest guy backstage either in prejudging, you know. But I kind of felt everybody kind of like an asshole, you know. Yeah. So I'm just like, I don't really want to talk to these guys. I gotta be honest with you. Wyatt, you see how Wyatt's face looked? Like, would you want to talk to Wyatt, bro?
No, dude. Wyatt was like me, Trey, and Wyatt were the only people like we're lying down in the back, like just, you know, these people look really angry. You know, we're just chilling.
I didn't want to talk to y'all neither, man. I didn't want to talk to y'all neither. But everybody's cool, man. I kind of wish everybody knows that ahead of time. It would be like a much better experience if everybody just assumed everybody was cool. But it's just not. You're not in that mindset till after prejudging, right?
I gotta say, for our generation, and that's something that podcasts like yours are doing a good job at, is bringing all of us together. You know, like when you go to these shows, like a lot of us from this generation, Barrow, Stu, like nationals, we're all just like hanging out, you know, because we competed together, but we're also sitting on things like these pods, and we're all kind of just like conversing. So it's helping a lot, you know. It helps a lot. I think it's really cool. It's super cool, man. Super cool.
And then even you guys entering the pro ranks, you guys already know the pros. So like you're not backstage, you're not going to be like, you already know the guys, right? So I think it's cool. Social media did that. That's a positive thing social media did, you know, for sure.
Because nationals, we were all just on the right side after the show. Like me, Stu, Jordan, all the guys like from our generation, we were all just having a conversation with Sid. Like there was like six to like 12 of us there, you know, and it's kind of like, this is fucking cool, man. You know, they're just a bunch of bodybuilders that
it was all of us, and then Dan for Bodybuilders Without Borders.
Yeah.
little Asian guy hanging out with
us. All right. Y'all want to do some questions? Ken might have to go, but
I'm about to bounce. But boys, it's been good, man. Joe, I know we didn't get to talk today, but man, it's good to see you and Alyssa. It's good to see you guys. DT, I know it's our first time and you're at the gym, but we'll probably have more. Man. So
I appreciate it. I'm gonna jump off with you as well.
All right,
guys.
Good seeing you, Ken.
Take care, y'all.
All right, good seeing you, boys.
Bye, guys.
Later.
Anybody else got to jump off?
Stu? My phone might die, but I'm good.
Kind of have to poop, but I can wait.
You go? All right, let's get some questions. So how's Alyssa doing? You in prep, huh?
Yeah, it's going good though. Everything's going good.
I'll check up on you.
Yeah. A little tired.
Wait, are you doing Texas then? Is that?
Yes,
20
Texas, and I've got another one prior to it.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, wait, Chicago? Does that have physique?
I think so, but no, it's not Chicago.
She's not gonna reveal that, Stu.
Okay,
under wraps. It's under wraps.
Yeah, I don't like the added attention everyone asking me, so I just keep it under wraps. But everything's going as accordingly to plan. So
for the next 20 weeks, she's just gonna be like this in the bottom corner, like scheming.
All right. Well, Ken was doing pretty good, man. How many weeks out is Ken?
7.
I thought he was gonna be a lot more dead than that because he hasn't been like active.
He's 8. He's 8.
8 weeks, okay. because he hasn't been as active with like texts and group chats and stuff. So I thought he was going to be like a zombie.
Well, he did say he had, this is the second day in a row high day.
Yeah.
So he had a high day yesterday, and then going into today, another one. So he should start feeling uplifted.
That makes a big difference because peak off season, sometimes we're just as tired, right?
No, I'm always more tired in peak off season.
Yeah, that's one of those things. All right,
I'm tired right now because last night, so we went to this event for someone, or for Ashley's brother and her family, and then when we got home, she got her a vanity. But you know, when you get those things, you got to build them. So she really wanted it made. She's got tired of doing her makeup in front of a mirror, you know, like. So she has a little vanity now. But we were up, I shit you not, till like 4 a.m. with that shit. Building that shit.
Must be a big
Stuff.
vanity.
Yeah, it's not even that big. It's like
Gosh.
every little drawer compartment and stuff. They're trying to line things up, and yeah, just screwing in all these little. There's like so many fucking screws and stuff. And fuck, it was fun, but it's like at 4 a.m. You're like, fuck, like, you're over it.
yeah.
You better get used to it, man. What's the how many weeks out are you from childbirth?
Weeks out.
I believe it's like 8 or 9 right now. Now 8 or 9.
Damn.
Yeah.
Early May. Okay.
Hold on.
I want to have Joe on with PJ to discuss being a new dad once Joe has a baby.
I'll take notes.
PJ is making it look so fun, but PJ, the man was in jail, right? So you come out of jail, you know, it's gonna be all fun. You're gonna love it all, you know. So he probably appreciates it so much more. He probably appreciates it so much more than most dads, right? Because he looks like he's having a great fucking time. He's fucking dancing. He playing with the baby. I'm like, this guy is having a great time, you know.
Maybe his wife is just handling all the brunt of it.
Changing the diapers and shit.
That's the thing with bodybuilders. I think we're so picky, bro. We're women that when we do get one, it's a really, really good one. It's a really good one. So shout out PJ.
You get those pictures I just sent you? 80?
Yeah, I was about to say that. That's insane. That's insane.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know, man. I mean, listen.
He fucks with two and a half. I sent him some pics of Ken that are top secret.
Gotcha.
But like that, there's zero reason why that can't be anybody. Like I understand there's a hierarchy.
Who else is doing New York Pro?
People like a lot of
like William Bonet.
I don't know.
We're assuming that either Nick or Martin are going to do it. Whoever doesn't win the Pittsburgh, so one of them. But we don't know that. We don't know if they're going to do it. You know, and I gotta be honest with you. I don't care about placings and shit because that doesn't mean much. It's a bodybuilding contest. It's not a previous placings contest, and this could be anybody, bro. This is just as muscular as anybody, if not more, and the shape just as good as anybody, if not more. Condition, so everything is there. So you can't give a legit reason why this can't beat that. You can't, you just can't do it. So, and this is not because either friend has nothing to do with that, because that's irrelevant. If either you have it or you don't, and everything is there. So I'm excited to see that.
And if at this point in prep he's not pushing as hard as he was at this point in prep for the North Americans, the last show he did, then that bodes well, and that means he can push further condition wise than he did for North Americans, because he needs to be leaner than he was in North Americans to be in the mix here. But like, fuck, dude,
and let's be real, we've never seen a Nigerian with those glute lines. Like the Nigerians winning don't even have glute lines. Like
8 weeks out, like
that's the top Nigerians don't have glute lines, so that's a plus. Anyways, shout out Ken.
Dude, I don't even know. Like, I want to put like media people onto Ken. Like, I want to tell Nick about him. I want to tell Desktop Bodybuilding Xavier about him. But I also don't want to because it's also spreading abuse. So I don't want sky high expectations for him. And like what happened with Quint, right? Quint was like the next Mr. Olympia 5 years ago, right? And
it's too much sometimes.
Yeah, it like everyone just piles all this stuff onto him, and it fucks with their head, you know.
I think he's better off this way. Like Fuad talks about him here and there. Fazzy talks about him. Xavier here and there. Once Nick talks about him, I think that's when everybody's gonna have the eyes. But I don't even think he needs that. I think we should wait until after.
Yeah, it's like if you know, kind of deal.
I think it's better that way. Anyways,
sorry to interrupt again. Really quick, I just started a log back up on Professional Muscle. You guys know what Professional Muscle is?
I went and looked at it.
You did? Wow. Thanks, Alyssa.
I don't.
Yeah, but do I have to register and sign in and all that to like get more in depth?
I don't think so. Did you see the thread?
I saw the thread, but when I clicked your post to see what you were talking about or whatever you posted, it's like making me go back to the homepage and register and sign in. And
you might have to make an account. I don't know. But make an account. I mean, PMs are good for them.
Okay.
It's not what it once was, but it's still pretty good. So I'm going to be able to log my. It's a bodybuilding forum, like from 15 years ago, 20 years ago. I know people don't really use those much anymore, but like it gives me more latitude to like be transparent about like my prep and what I'm doing. So I'm going to be doing a log in there just for shits and giggles if anyone's interested.
I feel like people like to see that.
Yeah, they do. They really do. So, I mean, I'm going to keep that pretty up to date this year.
I can't do that in prep because I feel like somebody would die if they tried what I do in prep. I don't want to be responsible for that. They're gonna be like, really? Wow, that much clean? Okay, let's do it.
That's why.
Don't try it.
Guys only.
Yeah. I told Boston my pre-contest tag before. He's like, "There's no way." I'm like, "Believe me, there's a way." He's like, "Bro, what the fuck? Like how?" Like, I don't know. I'm just that's how my body works. All right. From Bro Chat, if you can choose one active pro to coach you, not John Jewett, who would you pick?
Bro Chat, the podcast.
Oh, okay. No. I think he means he asked the same question on Bro Chat, or somebody asked it on Bro Chat. I think what he's trying to say. Anyways, what coach? Why not John Jewett?
That's like kind of his deal.
Easy.
That's his job.
That's easy. Okay, so any active pro besides John Jewett, because I was definitely gonna pick John Jewett. All right, so we can't pick him. Stu the coach. Alyssa's
I'll coach myself.
Oh,
can you do that?
They didn't say not Alyssa. I guess you can't do that. But I guess I would coach myself too. Okay, no, but I gotta think. Active pro. I mean,
somebody who's mean. Like you need somebody who's because like okay, you probably know basically what to do to run your own prep, right? But you need somebody to like be honest with you and tell you like you flat, fold, whatever.
I would pick Morgan McDonald.
You just want a second set of eyes.
He's a good coach. All his clients come in really conditioned. And he's one of the guys I keep kind of like in my little corner just to look me over and give, because I posed him 2 years ago for a prep. And then ever since then, we've just kind of been like the buddy system in each of our preps. So his opinion is valued when I send him my check-in pictures and stuff like that.
Like Morgan.
Yeah.
All you need is a second eye. In 2023, I was sending pictures to Martin as a second eye, and he kept telling me to eat more. But I think that's just because Martin eats so much food. But he wasn't completely wrong because I was flat as fuck. So
you need a black guy.
I do.
Akeem Williams. You get Akeem, okay?
He didn't have me on fucking 2 meals a day with diets after every meal.
Well, you have a pro coach. You have Justin Compton.
But he's not active. You know,
Oh,
you know what,
okay.
Joe?
Active
I live close to Joe. I'll just pull up and pose for him. He's gonna be like, yeah,
You're
do some
fat.
more cardio.
You're looking all right.
Well, last prep I was actually ahead. When I saw Joe, he was like, "That looks good." Then he was like, "You're a little flat." I was really flat. He didn't want to offend me.
Overly flat. Yeah.
He didn't want to be mean, but
Your tires popped. That's how flat you were, bro.
Tires, bro.
you got to take a hit because I remember him and Paul was like, "Well, you're in shape. You're in shape."
Hey,
you're
the glutes are in. But
Paul was like the glutes are in, but you're a little flat.
Everything else is out.
I did the crab, and he was like, "You know what? That looks good when you're bigger, but right now, don't hit that.
Like, don't do that one, baby. Just don't do that one.
Don't do the crab. Yeah, don't do the crab.
This is going to be such a nightmarish thing to hear right before a show.
Oh, but you just don't know how it's going to translate on stage because anytime it's like, whoa, you look good, you look big, then you just look fat on stage. So it's like you almost don't know what you want to hear. You want to hear like, you know what? I think what you want to hear, like 3 days out, is maybe you could eat up a little bit more, but you're not flat. But you could eat up a little bit. You know what? You don't want to be too flat. You know. So I don't know. You kind of know where you're leaning, but you don't really know till the lights hit you. You know, until you step on the lights. Because
I want to say like for myself, I want to say like somebody local here, so that could be like Jordan or Elias or we are just talking about it, Brandon or Hunter maybe, but they're all nice. Like they're all really nice. I think the correct answer would probably be Wyatt, but then he's just gonna over diet me until my glutes look like his.
Yeah,
like they're just never gonna look like that. So
yeah, you know the issue with that is his standards on the glutes and hams is gonna be so overemphasized that it won't be your best look. You know, it's not gonna be your best look. That's the.
So who has soggy glutes that could interact me?
Wait, your glutes kind of look like Hadi, like the way Hadi's glutes look now. But Hadi would fuck you up. He would. I feel like he would
break me. I'm not a Persian warrior like him, man.
Some people want you to suffer just to suffer, right? It's like when if you work out with Branch, he don't even care about your recovery. He don't care about your. He just wants you to fucking suffer. That's it. So.
Remember when James Hollingshead did that workout with him like a week out?
You're like, you know, it's a cool video, but damn, bro, like, come on, man, you're not supposed to do that.
Yeah, I think maybe James. James isn't here.
Yeah.
I feel like we would just talk about random other shit, which would be kind of nice.
Yeah.
Okay. From a knowledge standpoint, who's like a smart? Well, Shire is pretty fucking smart.
Yeah.
Shire is actually pretty. He is a coach though. Shire is pretty fucking. Brad is pretty.
Shire's my de facto nemesis because we're both from the Northwest. So
yeah, you can't do that.
Like we have to be like, you know.
Yeah, but you can't do that. You can't. I think Brett Wilkin is like a bro scientist, but like a really good bro scientist.
No, I'd fuck with Brett, dude.
I like Brett. Yeah, Hunter's pretty fucking good, man. I like Hunter. I think Hunter he'll be a good coach. You know. Okay, well, those would be the.
I don't want Nick Trigilli like creating drama out of thin air. If Hunter were to coach me.
Nick would just call me a pussy no matter what I do. That's how he coaches. Like whatever.
Yeah, probably not Nick.
You're a pussy no matter what you do.
No offense, but probably not Nick.
My cardio. Any cardio I did, you doing cardio like pussy. I'm like, bro, you want me to run? Like, you want me to do sprints? Like, God damn, what the fuck? What more can I do, bro? I'm doing a lot of cardio here, man.
That's a good question.
Yeah, that's very good. If Keon Pearson versus Mike Summerfield, if weight was the same, well, would the weight be two? How much does Mike even weigh? I don't know.
I have no idea.
I guess it depends. Would the weight be 212, or would the weight be? Oh no, Keon's like 202 actually. Well, I guess Keon wins regardless at this point.
Yeah,
Because
I think Keon would win.
Because if it's the same weight, if they both were at 202, I think Keon would win. If they were both at 190, I guess. I don't know what Mike weighs. Keon was probably 190 a couple years ago when he won. So I'm going to have to go Keon. Everybody got Keon?
Yeah.
yeah.
Let me get a good one. These are shallow questions. Excuse me. Y'all ever have a problem with your iPhone where like certain buttons don't work just randomly?
No,
No?
Had that?
I don't have an iPhone.
But sometimes the power button, when I press it, it'll like glitch and then like shoot up super high. I mean, not power button, the volume button.
Yeah. Okay, let me see. Did we do favorite fast food place?
I think we did that well, I was on like 2 podcasts ago. We did that one.
We have discussed this. I think the correct conclusion we came to, Beatty, is that sandwiches are kind of better than burgers in most regards.
They have more potential. They have more
Yeah,
potential.
like there's more flexibility. They don't make you feel like a bag of wet sand after you eat them.
I agree.
Like
Feel good after eating a sandwich.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, you can get a sandwich that will make you feel like a food coma afterward, like fucking giant pastrami or something, or like Philly cheesesteak, a couple of those. Like that'll put you in a coma, but you don't have
cold
to.
cut sandwich.
I like sandwiches over burgers, I think. Bodybuilding's biggest rivalry.
Bill and Jay. Wait, no, not Phil.
Ronnie and Jay.
The other black guy, Ronnie and Jay.
The other black guy.
But the reason I like to say Kai and Phil is because they really didn't like each other. Does that make it a bigger rivalry?
They're still doing it to this day. Well, Kai is. Kai's trying still.
I feel like Jay and Ronnie respected each other a lot. I can't say Phil and Kai didn't respect each other, but couldn't they respect each other that much? I mean, they didn't like each other. I could tell.
I think because Jay finally won, it makes it a more of a story. And then he lost, and then he came back, and
that's true. Kai kind of gave up. So if you give up, it's not much of a rivalry. You got to keep going.
From like 2001, when Jay arguably could have won, all the way through when Jay retired in like 2011, like that's a decade of intrigue. And even though like Ronnie wasn't in that the whole time, it's like it's a good story, bro. I like that.
All right, Swan. Oops. Best triceps in history, best biceps in history,
Ernie
best
Taylor.
forearms in history.
That's fun.
They didn't say that's
Find
real.
a picture of Ernie Taylor for people who don't know.
Bro,
I think
why do that? Why have you ever seen like his early pictures? You know he already had big arms, right?
No.
Yeah.
I've never seen like the real version of his triceps.
So Dorian defended him. He was like, yo, he had big arms since he was amateur. Yeah. But then he shot the shit out of it. One doesn't make the other not true.
Yeah.
You know. But Dorian probably didn't even know about it. Dorian probably doesn't know about SEOs like that because Dorian, I don't think he ever did anything like that.
Yeah, that was kind of like after his time, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, he might have looked even crazier, right? If Dorian had big ass fucking triceps.
I don't know, bro. Like if he
look weird.
I feel like his arms, if you started shooting them up, would look even worse.
Because he has short muscle back.
It's like
C-bone.
Yeah, right. stole the words out of my mouth.
Yeah, it would look. Even Ronnie. Ronnie had shorter muscle bellies in his arms. That would look weird. His biceps were already crazy.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, this is this is the all natty. Can you see this when I zoom in? That's come on, bro. What are we doing here? Why? Look at this.
And he swears up and down that he never touched him.
Because mentally, because his arms were already big, he thinks that if he did it, people wouldn't notice, right? Because they're already big, right? Nobody's gonna notice. Yeah,
I don't think he did sweeps too a little bit.
He did. He did his calves too. He did a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
I think sweeps is a bad idea. Well, I mean,
it works. I've never done it, but it does work. It sucks. You have to use a lot of oil, and you have to do it for a long time, but it works.
You also have to split it up. You can't just put it all in one fucking shot.
Right. So you're doing like 4 shots all the way up the side of your quad every time you hit them, which could be 2 to 3 times a week. It's a lot of oil.
He did his teardrops, bro. Come on, man. You can't even see the teardrops from straight.
Look at that front double on the top left. Look at that.
Oh, he did his biceps too, but you can't notice because his triceps are so big.
Dude, what is that?
He didn't even pin the right area. Look,
that's so unfortunate. Because like this is a great bodybuilder, and this is all we remember about him.
That's unfortunate, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think he pinned a little too close to the elbow on this one. I think he should have right here.
That is a second elbow. Like he's got 2 joints in his arm.
That's unfortunate, man. I mean, it actually would have made more sense if he pinned his quads instead of his arms, because if you already have a good body part, like, I don't think you should pin it, you know? I don't see I don't think it makes sense, you know? Anyways, shout out Ernie Taylor.
Should we actually answer that question? Like,
Willie Winkler.
Yeah.
So basically, they're saying who has the best arm based off of every body part, not one person, but who has the best tricep. It was all 3. They said best tricep, best bicep, and best forearm. I'm taking the question as if they mean separately, but even if they didn't mean that, let's answer it that way because we've never answered it.
Rolly wins triceps for sure. He might win forearms too. Close second to like Frank McGrath or maybe Lee Priest. Yeah. Biceps.
And like forearms, it's like for this, it's also how it looks on your body, right? Because Lee Priest's forearms aren't bigger than Rolly's, but on his body they look as big, right? Just proportionally. Yeah, I think the tricep, we got to go Rolly. Phil is up there, but I think Rolly beats Phil. He even has the separation, the splits. He has the short head. He has the long head. Everything is there, and you can tell that he didn't shoot anything, which is
he definitely did
better.
So yeah. Blue used to coach his training partner out in, I think, in Oxygen or somewhere out there, and so like he knew for sure that he never put anything in there. You can tell. There's lines. There's all kinds of good stuff going on.
The shape. How about bicep?
I had pretty crazy biceps, like super peaky, not round though.
Ronnie had crazy biceps.
I think it has to be a combo though. It has to be full too, because Ronnie and Kai is really showing
biceps. Yeah,
yeah, it's impressive, but it's still not very full.
I would just say Lee Priest then. Lee Priest is the craziest bicep to me.
I say Lee Priest is up there. Phil is up there.
Yeah, Phil is like, he's got peaks from the front, but he's also like super full from the side and the back. I think the whole gambit, I think he's probably better than those guys.
Yeah, there was a bicep picture. I mean, yeah, Lee had full and peaky. And who else did we say?
They're kind of short looking in that front double. but
This is true.
not small. I don't know, dude.
Let's go, Phil. Whoops. Phil. Phils aren't that peaky though.
Yeah.
They're just huge.
I remember that wrong.
They're huge and they're not super peaky. Mark, would you consider Marcus Rule, or that's too suspicious?
What about was it Pavel Jablonski? PAVOL
OL.
space JABL.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Is this the guy?
I think you're talking about
No,
the
it's
other guy.
Marco Savalainen. Yeah.
Man, I remember these names.
I watched Louis Marco videos when I was younger, dude. This is like burned in my memory.
What's the last name?
Savo,
Yeah, I'll be right back.
SAVO,
Uh-huh.
VO. Yeah.
Yeah, this guy. I mean, I think we're gonna have to go this way. This guy.
Yeah. This guy never placed that well, which is
He
just
looked really good. I got to be honest. Like, even if he did shoot his biceps, I don't even care because
they're separated, bro. They're super pointy, but like, look,
they look
you
good
can
to
see
me.
the split and everything.
Yeah, I have no issue with this one. Yeah, I have no. Yeah, I might have to agree with that. Let's look at Marcus, anyways. Am I spelling it right? Marcus, yeah. I mean, they look good though, but I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't have the same like separation that Marco does.
No, it doesn't. And
Fullness from the front isn't quite as good.
yeah. And I know we're just judging the bicep, but the fact that the triceps are so far behind is even more suspicious. How come he didn't pin the tricep?
I don't know. I mean,
I think he tried. I feel like I'm sure he already had big biceps to begin with. Yeah, I'm gonna go Pavel. I think Nick and what's the guy? You know, who's the other guy with the big arms? The new guy. You know, the guy that tore his Krizo.
Oh yeah.
Mikhail. I spell that. Krizo. Michael Krizo. Wow. I mean, well, it's not as peaky as I thought. It's big though.
That's a well-proportioned arm.
This is what a real arm looks like. You know,
Yeah.
I'll give Krizo and Nick Walker the respect of having real arms. That's for sure. It's not even up for debate. Like, you think it's real? I mean, it's a real arm, right? Which is, I think you should get even more credit for that. Whereas the other two is up for debate.
But I gotta say it again. The symmetry on Nick's arms.
One to the right to left.
Yes.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's not glaring in the pose when he's like hitting it, right? But like, I mean, if you really like pause and look at it,
I could tell you the left is bigger.
Uh-huh.
I think a lot of people got the left bigger, but not the ones not Krizo is actually balanced. Yeah. All right, forearm.
You sure Nick has never shot his arms?
Well, I'm not. I've never asked him. I'm not sure, but it doesn't look like it to me. But
yeah, I don't think it looks like it either. Besides the fact that they're just really big.
yeah, I can't say for sure. I mean, if he did, it's probably gear, right? If he did, it's probably gear.
That doesn't count, bro. I guess Joe's just been replaced by his cat.
Wait, is that the cat is just hanging out there?
Yeah, he's keeping us company.
Can you hear us? Hey, Flex. I think he muted it.
Damn.
Let me see. He's just hanging out. He's like a robot, bro. Hey, Flex. No, he can't hear us. What is he looking at?
Maybe he just doesn't care. He's
That's
better than
nice.
this.
All right, Forearms has to go. We said Lee Priest.
Or roll.
Oh, Frank. What about Frank McGrath?
I mentioned him.
Proportionally is just for him. It's more so that it's just proportionally fucked up, which makes it even cooler. Frank McGrath, bodybuilder.
Did you ask Flex any questions while I was gone?
Yeah, I don't think he could
bro.
hear us. He wasn't listening.
Yeah.
He was waiting there
actually,
to get.
Robin?
He was waiting for you to come get from pets.
Yeah, well, Ashley being this close and stuff, she'll need help with certain things and all that. But
Yeah,
she's been pretty dope.
Good man, Joe. Yeah, I think Frank is gonna win the Forearms. Let's see.
What was the decision on the triceps with Rolly?
Yeah, Rolly.
And biceps, who was it? Was it Filler for Lee?
Oh, we looked at actually, believe it or not, what's his name? Pavel
Jablonski.
Pavel Jablonski. And
Marco Savolinin.
I don't know either one of those.
That guy and Marcus Rule, but those are kind of suspicious. So then we said Nick Walker and Michael Crizzo. Theirs look natural, more natural.
Yeah.
You gotta get Frank. And Frank, I think Forearms have to go to Frank, but not that his like are gonna measure the biggest. They're just out of proportion, which makes it cooler. Right? Get some pictures. I mean, he had good arms too. I don't even know if this is real, but I remember he had good arms too. Yes, yeah, that's pretty impressive. Yeah, it's whole.
I remember seeing Frank when I was a fucking kid. I was like, seeing that shit. I was like, what the fuck?
When I moved here, he was still going to Goes Venice, and he was. I mean, I thought he was still really big, personally. I think he's still big, pretty big. All right, let's do one more. Let's do one more. How's everybody doing today? Everybody okay?
Doing good. I'm gonna take a fat fucking nap. Mm-hmm.
Oh, you don't take a fat shit?
No, fat nap. It's fat.
My bad. Let me pull this up.
Me and Paul start prepping in 3 weeks.
In 3 weeks?
What?
Yeah.
Oh, fire.
You're prepping with a new baby?
Yep.
Yeah, man.
God bless you. May he give you strength, my son.
Yeah. I mean, me and Justin talked about it. We're gonna give it a go. Ashley wants me to do it. She told me she wanted me to do it. And she didn't want me to change any of my plans. And then, but I told Justin I'm gonna have my mindset like I'm gonna do it. But if it gets too tough on her, if she tells me she'll hold it down when things get tough, but I don't want to put it all on her like that, even though she's the one who said it. But
yeah, smart.
Because I'm cool up until about 4 weeks out.
Yeah.
But it's just the sleep aspect, like Stu said. So, I mean, I don't sleep too much now. So, but we'll see how it goes. So, I'm going to give it a go.
Yeah. Bro, Flex is really enjoying this massage. Look at him.
Dude, he's in it. He's purring, too.
Yeah, I see. He's into it. All right. This question is relative too. So, biggest piece of advice that you would give to your son? It could be about anything.
Be a bodybuilder.
No. Not wrong.
You're not wrong at all, bro. You're not wrong at all. Biggest piece of advice. I mean, this could go so many.
I'll be honest. I think I would tell him to, like, whatever he does, whatever he decides to do, like, do it 100%. Don't half-ass anything. So like, if you're gonna start something, finish it, kind of thing.
Damn, this is a deep one. I guess the way I look at it is, what would I tell myself if I was a kid, right? I get that's probably the best way for me to think
Or
about it.
or anything you want, be willing to work for it. Don't expect it to just come to you.
Yeah. What about you, Stu?
Woman, like, you just say one thing. Like, you have to demonstrate to your children in the way that you live your life and like the way that you raise them, like how they're supposed to be. Like that's how my parents did it. Like there wasn't an orders thing. It was
That's the best way to do it.
they how do you say lead by example.
Example.
100%. 100%. I would say this. I would say don't expect life to be easy, and understand that things aren't linear. Things aren't gonna always be good, but things aren't gonna always be bad, right? So if you're in a bad spot, understand that you're not gonna stay in that bad spot. Things are gonna look up. So don't get too down in the dumps. This is when people do like commit suicide and shit like that, because things are down in the dumps. They don't they're not thinking that things are gonna get better, right? They feel like that's it. Everything's fucked up. That's it. I'm fucked up. They're not thinking that, well, things weren't always like this, so they're not gonna stay like this, right? Also, when things are going well, don't get too cocky. Don't get too full of yourself and thinking that things are gonna stay this way, right? So like, you're making a lot of money, life is good, the relationship is good. Don't don't start getting a big head thinking that you're better than everybody else and this is gonna stay like this, because you're gonna get another low. It won't be that way forever. You're gonna hit another bump. You're gonna hit another low, and be prepared for that, or prepare yourself for that, right? And don't do what I did, is spend a bunch of money and get cocky as fuck, and then fall flat on your face, and then now you have you have nothing to fall back on. So keep that humility, and understand that if you're willing to work hard enough, things will get better. Okay. And you're not working as hard as you think you're working. You might believe you are, but there's always another gear that you can do to do better and be better. Okay. And
most importantly, if you're too depleted, eat more carbs.
yeah, I mean, I guess it's hard to give words. I think it's more actions. Like you watching your dad conduct himself in a proper way is going to teach you way more than anything he can tell you, but I guess that would be my advice. But that's so broad that a kid won't even know what the fuck you're talking about. What are you talking about, Dad?
What that's the thing about like advice to a kid. It's like,
what?
You don't get it until you're later.
Like, yeah.
There's no...
Whatever you do it 100%.
Well, my dad probably told me all of this shit that we just said, and it just went through one ear and out the other. And then after a while, I'm like, oh, actually, when he said don't chase girls, that's what he meant. Now I get it. I didn't get it. I was like, why would I not chase girls? It doesn't make sense to me, right? So it's like you have to live it to get it. So
yeah, it turns out your parents were right about everything.
Exactly.
The older I get, the more I realize that, and it's so fucking frustrating. But
yeah.
The best advice I was ever given was from Zombieland. Nut up or shut up.
Yeah, that's it.
Nut up or shut up.
What about cardio? Wasn't that?
Oh yeah, that's probably number one.
Didn't take that.
I got you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
okay,
but
for sure.
Also, I do think it's important to live life in a way that fulfills you and not anybody else. So I'm gonna have expectations on you as a parent, but your goal shouldn't just be to make me happy. It should be because I'm gonna be dead. Hopefully, I'm dead before you're dead, but I'm gonna be dead someday. And if you're not fulfilled and you're trying to make me proud, that's not gonna do much for you,
bro. Number one advice to my son: don't be gay.
better leave California then.
What if it makes you? What if it makes you happy? That's
You're gonna be sad the rest of your life, motherfucker.
I feel like that's a tough one because I want my kids to be as happy as possible. But even if you pretend to be happy, there's things that your kid is going to do that won't make you happy, and you can choose to act like you're happy and be like, okay, I guess I'm happy. But let's be real, you might not actually be happy. But that's a story for a different day. But you know what I mean, right? Like you can pretend to be happy. Hey, I want to do OnlyFans, Dad, and it's like, are you gonna be like, well, as long as you're happy, even if you say that, you don't really mean that. You're gonna be like, let's circle back around to that this weekend, So that's the tough part, but hopefully none of us have to go through those kind of things. All right, y'all. Before this makes a bad turn.
It started with me. I had to say it. Fuck that. I think about that all the time. Like, this motherfucker better come out right.
That's something to think. I mean, there's so much to think about, honestly, because we live in a different world. There's a lot to think about, But yeah. I don't got to think about it yet. We'll let you think about that, Joe.
I'm the first one. Let's do it.
Thanks for coming on, y'all. Thanks, Flex. Thank you, Flex, for coming on as well.
We still here. I'm still petting this pussy.
On that note.
All right, y'all. Enjoy y'all day, man.